I feel like I'm really playing with fire by building this drone tower, but it looks cool. Let's see if it holds up until the end of the video. What's up everybody, this is Mike, welcome back to another video, and today we'll be talking about the best drones to buy in 2022. So lately you guys have been asking me a lot about which drone should I buy, which drone should I invest into in 2022, and as we had so many different drone releases lately, I think it's hard to give one answer that satisfies every single need out there. So for that I decided to make a list going from cheaper to more expensive drones, so hopefully by the end of the video you'll have a clearer idea which drone, depending on your price category that you have picked, is the right for you. The tower is still holding up, so drop a like if you want to show some support, and let's start with the cheapest drone first, namely the DJI Mini 2. Yes, the DJI Mini 2 is still the one that I would recommend you to buy even in 2022 because it's still the cheapest, best value option that you can get, and it's still something that delivers exceptional results for hobbyists and people who just want to have usable, nice footage that they can use for social media, for family and friends, and even for some professional use every now and then. They can still use the Mini 2 for that. First casualties. Okay, switching the setup a little bit because I'll just break something by the end of the video. Right. I believe this is still okay. I don't want to break my drones just by talking about them. I prefer to break them by flying them. So I don't have the Mini 2 right here with me, but I still heavily encourage you to buy one if you're looking for the best overall cheap solution for a nice, smooth, great looking footage out of a drone, because the Mini 2 is one of these drones that just work perfectly well. It's sub 250 grams. It has a great camera, a 3-axis gimbal, 4K video, OcuSync transmission technology, good battery life, almost at 30 minutes, and just something that you can take in your pocket and just carry with you everywhere you go. Currently, the cost of the Mini 2 is $449, and I believe this is a steal for the drone that you're getting. And of course, that's the base price. This is not the Fly More package. It's not anything that comes with additional accessories or anything else. This is just the drone and the battery and the remote. All of these drones that you have here have their basic versions, and of course the more premium versions that also have additional accessories like more batteries or an extra remote with a screen built in. We'll get to that in a few minutes. We have so many different options that you can add on top of the base price that of course it gets a lot more expensive. So for this video I have decided to just list the basic price, and it's up to you to decide whether you need the Fly More kit or any additional accessories with your drone. But yeah, the Mini 2 costs $449 for the base package, and I think that's a great price for what you're getting even in 2022. Now the next drone we have from the next price category, if you're looking for something a little bit more professional, is the Mini 3 Pro, again by DJI. I'll put the price on the screen because they tend to change a lot, so check the links in the description if you're looking for the exact price of this drone that I'm talking about. But the Mini 3 Pro is next on the price list, and it's a lot better compared to the Mini 2. Of course, it's a big, massive upgrade, not only in the visual aspect of things, but also on the internal side of things. It comes with a much better camera which shoots 4K 60 frames per second. It can shoot vertical videos. It has a bigger sensor, so it works better at night. You have a better transmission system, giving you a lot more range and a little bit more flight time. You also have obstacle avoidance on the front and on the back, making sure that the drone will be able to track you in active track mode. Because of these sensors, you will be able to use active track. And not only that, you have so many more features that were never available before on any other DJI drone that was sub 250 grams, such as hyperlapse. You have focus track, master shots, quick shots of course, and all of these other small things that were not available before, like shooting in a flat color profile. You have decent light here, and you have 4K 60 frames per second and stuff like that. So it's a massive upgrade coming from the Mini 2. And like I said, of course, the Mini 2 is still a great drone, but this is a step above. So definitely highly recommend the Mini 3 Pro if you're in that price range. Now we're getting closer to the $1,000 drones, namely with this Autel Nano Plus. Now this is the drone that I would recommend to anyone who is looking for a drone that is not made by DJI, because there are many people out there looking for something else. They just want to try out something else, and Autel is a great company. However, there is a big however that I want to point out about this drone. It's a great product. It works wonderfully well. At least from my experience, it works really well. However, Autel is really lacking in the software development area, so the software of the Nano Plus is really not ideal. However, the drone still flies very well. It records a great looking footage that in some scenarios even beats the Mini 3 Pro in my opinion, and especially at nighttime I believe the Nano Plus definitely beats the Mini 3 Pro, mostly because of the type of sensor it uses. So if you're shooting a lot at night and you're still looking for a sub 250 gram drone, then the Nano Plus is definitely the right one for you. Another major point for the Nano Plus is that it doesn't have geofencing, meaning that you can fly with it anywhere you want, and of course that could be both a pro and a con. However, because all of these DJI drones have geofencing enabled at all times, sometimes that geofencing is a really pain in the ass to work around, because sometimes it says that you are in an area where you cannot fly when you actually can fly in that area. And sometimes I've been in situations where you cannot even unlock that geo zone so you can take off. And for that, sometimes having a Autel drone can really save the day. So think about that. If it's something that it's important for you, all Autel drones currently don't have geofencing, so that's something that really makes a difference for some people out there. Just throwing it out there if it's important for you. Now there is something important that I want to mention, because the price of this Nano Plus is close to $1,000, and that's without an additional battery or any other accessories. It's just the base package, which is quite a lot, especially considering the fact that you can buy two DJI Mini 2s for the price of one Nano Plus. So it's important to mention that you need to figure out whether you really need such type of drone and whether you're willing to pay such a high price for even the base package. Now the next drone here on the desk is the Autel Lite Plus, but that's something that I don't actually recommend, because it's a very highly priced, not optimized drone that currently lacks support from Autel. So for now, I wouldn't really recommend you to buy it. This drone was made to compete against the DJI Air 2S, which is the actual drone that I'll be recommending if you're looking to spend about $1,000 for the base package of the drone. The Air 2S is just amazing drone, which I believe for most people would be the best all-around choice, because it packs a lot of power. It's a little bit bigger, so it holds up against winds a little bit better compared to these smaller drones. It has an amazing camera, which I believe is on par with the Mini 3 Pro. Nowadays, the Mini 3 Pro, it has just really advanced camera that works really well. So it's really similar to the Air 2S. If you're looking for a very solid drone that is a little bit bigger, it doesn't have to be sub 250 grams and can withstand stronger winds, then the Air 2S is the one for you. Unfortunately, the Lite Plus from Autel doesn't get recommended here because it's about $1,500 and it still lacks basic firmware updates that would enable some features that were promised by Autel a few months ago when this drone was released, such as real active track, because right now it's kind of half-half. It's working, but it's not really working. It's not ideal. And it also doesn't have lock color profile, which was promised a few months ago by Autel, and it's still not enabled. They really took their time and they still haven't released any update enabling lock color profile on the Lite Plus, meaning that if you want to shoot in flat color profile with this drone, you can't. Next on the list, we are getting to the big boy territory, and namely the DJI Mavic 3. The Mavic 3 is my top recommendation if you're looking to buy a drone that is about $2,000 or even a little bit more, because right now the current price of the base package for the Mavic 3 is $2,050, and that's without the Fly More kit. If you are looking for really top of the line specs, then of course the Mavic 3 Cine is the way to go. The Mavic 3 Cine is a little bit, or well, not exactly a little bit, it's a lot more expensive than the Mavic 3. It's a top of the line package that can record in ProRes. It has a 1 terabyte internal SSD where you can record your footage and store it inside that SSD. But it's a little bit overkill for most people, so I don't really recommend you to do that. I would advise you to get a few SSDs for your computer, a large SD card, and just buy the regular Mavic 3. And of course, I would also suggest you to buy the Fly More kit, which includes more batteries and more accessories, so you can use that to your advantage. Of course, if you have money to burn or your job requires you to shoot in ProRes, of course, the Mavic 3 Cine is the way to go. However, I think for 99% of the people out there, the Mavic 3, it is going to be enough. Even for the pros, the footage is that good looking, it's extremely sharp, it has all the latest features that DJI has introduced, and especially after a recent major firmware update, now you can use the telephoto camera a lot more, because now you have manual camera settings and all sorts of different tweaks that you can use on the Mavic 3's telephoto camera that can really make your footage a lot more impressive, because that telephoto camera used to be a little bit more of a gimmick. Now it actually works really well, and you can incorporate some more interesting type of shots in your footage that normally you wouldn't be able to get with those traditional cameras that we have on all of the other drones right here. From my experience, out of all of these drones that I mentioned up until this point, my two favorite ones are the Mini 3 Pro, if I'm looking for more portability but still great quality, and of course the Mavic 3, if I'm going balls out and I'm looking for the best quality possible, I would be picking this one. Interestingly enough, I wouldn't really say that the difference in the quality of the cameras between the Mavic 3 and the Mini 3 Pro is that significant. It's not like night and day. Of course, there is a difference, and it's quite easy to notice if you're looking them side by side. However, for most people, if they don't know what they're looking at, they wouldn't really make the difference between the Mini 3 Pro and the Mavic 3, because in some scenarios, the Mini 3 Pro just surprised me so much. So yeah, I just wanted to throw it out there that it's not about the most expensive drone. It really is about how you use it and how well you incorporate all the knowledge that you have about perspectives and lighting and settings and all the things you do learn when you fly these things on a regular basis. It's really about how you use them. It's not about the highest price tag. But with that being said, these are the drones that I recommend. These are the ones that I would say are the best on the market right now. Yes, heavily dominated by DJI. Some people will accuse me of being a DJI fanboy. Say what you want, but these are really the best drones in my opinion. The Autel drones are very good as well, but unfortunately they just lack something to get there to the top positions. Right now they really lack good support and software updates to fix those things that were promised from the get-go. Right now they are not ideal, they are great, but not the best. With that being said, guys, I really want to hear back from you. What are your thoughts on these drones? Which is the one that you would prefer? Is there a drone that you would say is your dream drone that you are saving up money for? Things like that. I really want to hear back from you, so let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching up until this point. This is Mike from Drone Supremacy. It's been a pleasure. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care and goodbye.